Join me as we challenge each other to stop people-pleasing once and for all by using these 5 powerful philosophical principles. In this video, you'll discover 5 powerful philosophical methods that can help us to stop people-pleasing and start living authentically. Many individuals find themselves constantly seeking approval from others, leading to stress, burnout, and a loss of self-identity. It's like we're always trying to put on a mask to impress others, to fit in, to be liked. We often forget that we're human beings with our own thoughts, feelings, and desires. This constant need for validation can lead to a never-ending cycle of self-doubt and anxiety. We start to question our own decisions, our own values, and our own identities. It's exhausting, isn't it? I know it is for me. When we people-please, we sacrifice our own happiness and well-being for the sake of others' opinions. We must remember that we can't pour from an empty cup. When we prioritize others' needs over our own, we're left feeling drained, unhappy, and unfulfilled. It's time to break free from this toxic cycle and start living for ourselves. People-pleasing can also stem from a deep-seated fear of rejection or abandonment. We think that if we don't conform to societal norms or meet others' expectations, we'll be ostracized or judged. But what if I told you that rejection is not the end of the world? In fact, it can be a blessing in disguise. Rejection allows us to reevaluate our priorities, to focus on what truly matters to us. It gives us the opportunity to surround ourselves with people who truly support and accept us for who we are. So the next time you're tempted to people-please, remember that rejection is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced. When we people-please, we're not being honest with ourselves or others. We're presenting a false image, a mask that hides our true selves. This can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and anxiety. We must learn to be authentic, to be vulnerable, and to be true to ourselves. We must learn to say no without explanation, without justification, and without apology. We must learn to prioritize our own needs and desires, even if they go against the expectations of others. The first strategy is all about recognizing the impermanence of everything. Nothing lasts forever, including people's opinions and approval. When we realize that everything is temporary, we start to focus on what truly matters to us. We start to prioritize our own needs and desires rather than seeking external validation. The second strategy is about embracing your uniqueness. You are not like anyone else, and that's what makes you special. When we celebrate our individuality, we start to break free from the need to conform. We start to live more authentically, more boldly, and more freely. The third strategy is about letting go of the need for control. We often people-please because we want to control how others perceive us. But the truth is, we can't control how others think or feel. What we can control is our own reactions, our own emotions, and our own actions. When we let go of the need for control, we start to live more spontaneously, more freely, and more authentically. The fourth strategy is about recognizing that everyone has their own struggles. We often compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels. But the truth is, everyone is fighting their own battles. When we recognize this, we start to be more compassionate, more empathetic, and more understanding. The key insight is that true happiness comes from self-acceptance and the courage to embrace your own desires, rather than constantly striving to meet others' expectations. When we focus on our own growth, our own development, and our own fulfillment, we start to live a life that's more authentic, more meaningful, and more joyful. We start to break free from the need for external validation and start to cultivate a deeper sense of self-love and self-acceptance. We start to recognize that our worth is not defined by others, but by our own courage to be ourselves. We must learn to love ourselves, not in spite of our imperfections, but because of them. We must learn to embrace our quirks, our flaws, and our individuality. We must learn to see ourselves as enough, just as we are, without the need for external validation or approval. When we do, we'll start to live a life that's more authentic, more joyful, and more fulfilling. To wrap up, remember that breaking free from people-pleasing takes practice and self-compassion, but the rewards are worth it. You deserve to live a life that's true to who you are, a life that's authentic, meaningful, and joyful. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to check out our other videos here at Philosophical Flicks on personal growth and share your thoughts of wisdom in the comments below. Until next time, be good to yourself and each other, and and we'll see you soon.